All right, size of the team is often asked about quite a bit. Is, how big is too big? How small is too small? I got a question here from a student asking about an example of a Scrum team where we only have 3 people. Can Scrum work in that instance? What advice would you give them? What do you guys think?
3 people, that's not even small if that was the assumption here. I mean, that's kind of large, at least from our perspective. I'll jump right down this one. Like 3 people, and that's your whole Scrum team. You got what? 1 developer, 1 product owner, 1 Scrum Master, or 1 product owner, 3 developers, as everybody's playing a developer, and then maybe somebody plays Scrum Master occasionally. Scrum doesn't really have anything to say about people playing multiple accountabilities, aside from you might lose some focus. And so if you're willing to accept that, there's nothing wrong with having a small Scrum team where you're all playing, or you're not sharing the accountabilities. We're all taking a different accountability, but then we have another set of accountabilities on top of it, as I'm sure most of us do anyway when you go home and you're accountable for cleaning your house, even though you're still accountable for having your job. So not against the rules.
I see it all the time in smaller teams that are startup type environments where they want to use empirical evidence. They want to use a framework like Scrum. You've got somebody who's the owner of the company, founder. You got another co-founder who also happens to be a developer. And then you have somebody else who's maybe been hired on to join the team, so to speak, and that's a Scrum team. And I pretty much echo what Rob says. You can totally do it. There has to be minding of these accountabilities and knowing when you are which accountability. If you're a Scrum Master at the time, I think you need to own it and say, hey, I'm acting as a Scrum Master at this point. I'm not acting as a developer. I think some of the confusion can be when we don't know who we're talking to at that time. And then there can be a sense of confusion. So for part of that, looking at the Scrum values all the way through the respect, commitment, and focus, I think those need to be supported with a lot of clarity, especially when you're owning 2 different accountabilities simultaneously.
I'm going to take an angle on this that comes way out of left field. So in my background, among many things like software developer and Scrum Master, in my personal background is a theater nerd. And I did a talk several years ago about, because when you hear this word, can I have more than 1 role? You hear this in Scrum teams. You also hear this in the theater. And sometimes you have actors who have more than 1 role. Peter Pan comes to mind, right? Usually the guy that plays the kid's dad also plays Captain Hook. So how do you have one person effectively manage 2 roles? Well, like Greg just said, you are always very clear about which person. You don't have this actor just walk on stage and you're wondering like, is this Captain Hook right now or the kid's dad? Like, it's very obvious in the theater because of what costume they're wearing typically. But you have to make it very obvious what role you're acting at a given time. And if you take one person, divide them into 8 different roles, they're probably not going to do that very effectively, right? That focus becomes a huge problem. Focus can become a problem with just 2 roles, but it's manageable as long as you're transparent about it and you go into it with eyes wide open and you're honest with yourself about the pros and cons. So I would say, just as the resident theater nerd of the group, take a page out of that book, make it really transparent, go in with eyes wide open, and then be honest with yourself if it's not working and make a change if you have to.
Wow.
I like that
Adaptation
analogy.
to the Scrum Guide. All Scrum Masters must wear a Scrum Master hat. It has to be obvious.
I like it.
Right? Okay.
Go, we're team number 1.
Hey there. So if you're here and this is your first time and you're interested in growing in your agility and understanding things like Scrum and other agile topics, then be sure to get started by hitting that subscribe button and also that bell. You're going to get notifications and I don't want you to miss out on a thing.